Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Investor More, and I'm outside a house that we just bought. So this is our first time showing it to our viewers. Um, Really cool house, pretty old, has some really interesting features, has a couple outbuildings and a big lot as well. So we'll show you the house, talk about the numbers, and go over how we bought it, which was kind of interesting too. And of course, we love the likes, shares, comments, and we love seeing new subscribers too. So keep those coming. We have a lot of really cool videos coming up here on the liquor store, mini mart, a new property I'm buying, which happens to be a bar today, and some other flips with tenants still in it. We have some interesting stories on again, so a lot going on. So you can see one of the outbuildings there, and this property is in kind of a small town in northern Colorado, in Milliken, Colorado, and it's very windy outside, so I'm actually doing a voiceover right now because it was horrible, my audio, when I was filming this. But it's a neat property, but needs quite a bit of work. So we paid $330 for it, sort of on the MLS. And what I mean is it was for sale by owner. It was kind of listed on the MLS as a limited service listing for a while, which means basically they put it in the MLS, which is a multiple listing service for most agents list their properties. But a limited service company will just put it in the MLS, not set up showings, not do contracts, not do anything. And technically, you're not supposed to do that in Colorado. The Colorado Real Estate Commission has said you can't have a limited service listing in Colorado because if you are an agent, you have fiduciary responsibility for your clients at all time. You can't just say, I'm going to put it in the MLS and do nothing. However, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And that's what this house was when I first saw it on like Zillow and Craigslist, I think. And then I saw it move to the MLS, and they kept lowering the price. So I think they started at 4 something and kept coming down lower and lower and lower. I think they're listed at $355 when I saw it and made my offer. So we had to set up the showing with the owner, did the contract for him, all of that, because he didn't really have an agent representing him, but we still got a commission when we bought it of 2.4%. So that was nice too. But he definitely hurt himself on the marketing side by going that route. You know, the pictures weren't very good. The description wasn't very good. The square footage is way, way off, but that isn't just his fault. That's the public record's fault too. But again, a good agent would find out all that stuff, help with that, and help get that fixed so you get the most money. So we paid $330, like I said. Part of that was it has a brand new roof on it, so that's nice, because it was a pretty expensive roof. I think it's $18,000 if I remember. And then it should be worth north of $450,000 when we're done with it. The trick is figuring out what we're gonna do because it is kind of weird, has a weird layout, some weird design features, but it's pretty big and kind of a cool house too at the same time. And it really, with the lot size and the garages, might be worth quite a bit more than $450 based on our current market conditions. So we'll see how all that goes. But in this initial video, we're really just showing what there is. You know, you've got your kitchen here, which has newer cabinets. Obviously, you want to update the poles, the knobs, the countertop if we kept them. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, if we're going to keep them or not. This is where the stove goes, which is pretty weird. They just had a lower stove right there. Dishwasher appliances obviously would be replaced. And I'm not even sure where. They must have had their fridge out here. Now that I'm looking at this, they must have had their fridge here, which is kind of weird. We'll have to think about that. A lot of things to think about. And we love hearing suggestions from people too, because we're always looking for new ideas as well. You can see it had kind of a cool arch on one side, and then over here, I don't know if they added this later and took out that arch or what's going on there. Ooh, I can't tell. Oh, that might just be painted. I thought that was burned at first. But the roof is done, the HVAC is newer, the sewer line's been done, the electrical's newer. So all that should be okay. It's more the cosmetic stuff. And yeah, I just don't know what's going on with that wall. That's weird. But big living room, big dining room, pretty big kitchen. There's more to the main floor we'll show you. There's also the upstairs we'll show you. And something funny that I just saw here. I'm like, man, this window is dirty. Is the seal broken? And I look down here. I'm like, well, there's a leaf inside the window. So yeah, I think the seal's broken. And you peek up here a little bit. There you go. There's a good half-inch gap. The top of the window all the way across. So we'll probably need to do most of the windows. Some of them are kind of old and cool. Like, you know, it's got that cool design, the leaded glass, but they're so old. And I don't know if they work right. Is that? Oh. I mean, it goes up, but it doesn't stay up. So they would need some work. Ugh. So we'll have to see there. Obviously, kitchen needs some work, appliances, counters, maybe cabinets. We'll have to decide on that. All light fixtures, all flooring needs done. And then this room, we'll have to think about the fridge, because back here is also kind of weird. You have all these cabinets all over. And then you come back here, and that's where the washer was. And then here's where the dryer was. And then that's the closet beside the stairs that goes into the living room. And then you have a bathroom here. And your shower, which leaves a little bit to be desired. And so you've got your bathroom here. And then you've got a bedroom back here. And what's crazy is they were listing this house as 1,300 square foot total, or square feet. And like, man, I just walked it off. This main floor is almost 1,300 square feet by itself, not including the upstairs. So they, in public records, had it listed as like 1,400. So it's way, way bigger than they listed it. So obviously that's something that you want to make sure is correct when you sell a house, is that the size is right. You can see a weird cubby there too above the stairs, and they had like sort of hidden, but that kind of gives away your hidden spot when you've got a padlock on it. Little ugly spot there. So that's most of the first floor. But I was thinking we could move maybe the laundry over here. If there's room, it'd be tight, but it's just weird back there. But if they're putting their fridge back there, maybe not. But I mean, we could also maybe take out one of these cabinets and put the fridge over there. There's some different options, or redo the kitchen completely. So we'll have to think about that. All right, we'll head upstairs. There's a basement too. It's kind of a murder room, so we'll show you that. Here's that little weird closet we were just talking about. And oh yeah, they have a door that goes out to a deck that isn't there anymore pretty much. We'll show you that when we get outside. So that's interesting too. And then stairs, they're fine, but it's kind of neat when they implement the stairs into the older houses as the front entry, you know, make it part of the house. These are just kind of tucked away. And then yeah, they obviously did some different stuff here, because this looks like they added this whole wall at some point. So maybe this was just an open loft living area, who knows? But we have a bedroom here, which is good size. Closet here. More cubbies all over. More closets over here. We might even just take those out. I don't know if we need them. I don't know how usable they are. They're pretty ugly. Again, more old windows. They told us, like, are you going to keep the windows? I'm like, well, I'm all about saving money and keeping stuff if I can, but I don't think they work. They're like, oh no, they all work. So I don't know exactly what their definition of work was, because they don't look like they work that well. Sweet door. It'll be interesting to see what's underneath this laminate they put in. If it's, we'll check the bathroom here soon. Hardwood or plywood or old carpet or asbestos, who knows. Another bedroom here. It's a decent size, but it's a weird layout with all the nooks and crannies and door, and then another bedroom here. So it has lots of space up here too. I mean, this house has to be at least 2,000 square feet, I think. And they're listing it as 1,300. So obviously that's a huge disadvantage when marketing it. And then yeah, closet there. So that's the upstairs. Plus we have the bathroom right here, which again, needs some love. The whole house needs a little bit of love. Lots of interesting tile choices. And that is not a roach. That is I think it's a pill bug is what you call them or something. Funny, we went to Florida, well, I went to Disneyland last week. And then our previous vacation was Florida. And we found roaches in our vacation rental. My wife kind of freaked out. Then we figured out, oh, roaches are actually really common in Florida. They're there all the time. They're not that big of a pest. But here in Colorado, if you see roaches, you freak out because they are only showing up usually in super dirty houses. They're not just your nice roaches that you find in Florida. They're kind of nasty. All right. Now we're going to the basement. And I don't know if we have lights. I'll try and get my phone out. I haven't been down here since I first saw the property, so we'll see. And yes, if you're wondering how we bought it, almost all of our properties we use private money on, which means pretty much other people I know. I don't see a light, sorry. And they'll do 100% financing, so we'll get a loan for $330,000 on it and pay a couple points at closing. I'll end up bringing like $3,000 or $4,000 to buy these properties usually. I usually spend my own money to repair them. But by doing that, we're able to do, 10, 15 at a time. Whereas if we're using our own cash and money to do all of them, we do maybe a third of that. So some of that electrical, sorry, I'm trying to hold the phone and do the camera at the same time, is updated. But some of it needs a little bit of work still. So you can see this is pretty murderish. This is pretty good. I wonder, that must be the crawl space. I'm sure that's, oh, that hole. You can probably see more than I can. That whole board is coming off when I do that. Interesting. Water heater is definitely not that new. I can tell because of the inch of dust on top of it. So we won't do much down here. Make sure the electrical is good. Probably replace the water heater, but oh yeah, I forgot. There's extra stuff. I think this goes, does this go outside? Maybe not. But this might be the old coal. Yep. Oh, it's kind of a tight squeeze. Ah! Oh, this floor feels weird. I think that's the old coal chute where they would dump your coal here for your furnace. But lots of really good murder rooms in here. You can latch that from the inside. All right, we'll take a look at the outside here now. Yeah, this is a house I feel like we're just going to keep finding more and more weird stuff as we get into it. And like I said, it has a huge lot. And if my sound starts getting weird, it's because my mic hates the wind and it's windy today. And I did a voiceover later. 90% sure I'm going to have to do that. But we have garages. Don't know what that is. And they've got concrete floors. They're not horrible, but that beam looks a little saggy. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like that might need some help because it might be supporting a bunch of the garage. I'm not sure. But old garage doors, which are kind of cool, right, to see them now and show them. Probably not as cool if you actually lived here and had to use them. So we'll figure out if we want to leave them and leave the cool factor or replace them. I feel like a lot of times I try to save money by saying stuff is cool. Again, this one is not horrible either. It also has a floor. It has a garage door, sort of. You can see they've re-supported the roof, has new sheathing. Not the worst. Not the best, but not the worst. We have your timeout for your children right over here, maybe. Not sure what that room's for. We might have to take a look at the back of these buildings too and see what they look like. Please help. We did. We bought your house. Has alley access. That roof doesn't look amazing. And you can see they painted the front, but not the back. Oh, it's got old garage doors covering up the newer garage door. Okay, interesting. And you can see the back here. Again, kind of a cool looking house, kind of neat. Crazy carport's kind of weird. And over here, we've got some more weird stuff going on. There's that door I was talking about from inside that goes to this deck that no longer exists. And then that weird, I don't know if that was supposed to be a deck. I don't think so. Just kind of a weird overhang for the whole house. And then, yeah, your tree is growing into the deck. So, lots of strange stuff here. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Got some major supports for the deck. Its supports are solid, but I don't know if we want to rebuild that or not. So we'll see. All right, so that is the property. The big question is, how much are we gonna spend fixing it up? And if I had to estimate, I would probably say, like, I would hope for $50,000 to get it done, but assume it's probably gonna take a little more, depending on how far we go. And boy, we'll probably have another $35,000 other costs. So we could have $100,000 into it, which isn't a great deal if we bought it for $330 and sold for $450. But if we're spending $70,000 on the remodel, I think it's definitely going to be worth more than $450. And it might be worth more than that even with a smaller remodel. So should make some money. Hopefully we'll make a lot of money. Hopefully we can save some money on repairs and sell for like $470 or $480. That's kind of what my gut tells me will happen. But we've got some room to work with if that doesn't happen in the end. All right, we'll have many more videos on this one. Our other 10 flips we have going now as well too. Our stores, our businesses, commercial properties, all that. So love the likes, comments, shares. Love seeing new subscribers. We'll be back soon. And let us know what you think of this property. All right, take care.